Hey everybody, my name is Amber Campbell. I am an author and freelance editor, and I am so excited to announce the cover of my second poetry collection, Missed Arrows. It's so pretty! I love it. It's probably backwards for you, so I'll put it up on camera, probably covering my face for a minute. But I'm really excited about this. So I have my first poetry collection, The Ones, and that one came out in September. It was really a lot of petty poetry, but also a lot of family, grief, things like that. This one is all relationships, and I have it specifically set to debut on February 13th in time for Valentine's Day or for Single Awareness Day, whichever one you're celebrating. So I do have my notes in front of me. I want to talk about this collection and the things that are different from Missed Arrows as compared to The Ones. And the first one I want to introduce to you is the lengthy title, because of course the subtitle for The Ones was Family, Grief, and Finding Peace Poetry. This one is going to be Missed Arrows, Love, Loss, and Loser Exes. We are going very petty. You're thinking like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Old School Halsey. That's the vibe of this collection. And as I mentioned, February 13th, 2024, it will come out into the world. It's going to be on Kindle Unlimited for the ebook, and right now I'm running a sale on both ebooks. They're 99 cents for Black Friday weekend. If you want to go grab a copy, The Ones is available anywhere for ebook or paperback, doesn't matter. Missed Arrows is specifically going to be on Kindle because it is going to be going into Kindle Unlimited. That's a whole nother video I'm going to do, probably around the 6-month mark as well as the 12-month, to see if I sold more raw ebooks for this one or if I got more Kindle Unlimited page reads for this one. So those differences there. I want to experiment because I am not a self-publishing expert. I'm just kind of bringing you with me on my journey, and I want to be able to share my experiences with you guys so that you can learn from my mistakes, from my choices. Kindle Unlimited, it's 50-50 on whether it helps books or hinders their sales. So we will see with our own, for poetry specifically, how that's going to affect it. Next, I want to talk about the cover design. So I designed my own poetry covers. Mentioned a dozen times before, I have a young adult manuscript, and it's going to be a series I'm working on. Those will be designed by a cover designer. I want those to be illustrated. However, for these two, actually, let me just put them up on the screen because that's going to help you when I point differences out. The first big difference is the word poems on there. So The Ones can be a little difficult to figure out what it is. I think poetry is just assumed because of how minimalistic the cover is. Only 2 colors, which is pretty much the same as Missed Arrows. It is just black with a pink gradient in the back. And I wanted poems to be on there so that it was very obvious right away. And because with my YA series, I'm also going to have the genre as part of the series name, and because it's a mystery series. So that was my first big thing that I decided I had to have that on the cover. Secondly is more contrast. So I think with the images up on screen, you can really tell it says The Ones by Amber Campbell. But when you're looking, especially on Amazon on your phone, or actually any book site on your phone, it can be difficult to read that typography because it's a bright green, but it's not like neon green, versus the black on light pink and medium shade pink. Because the harshest shades of pink are going to be on the edges where there's really not any words. And I did that on purpose. I wanted the lighter whitish pink to be more where the images and the words would be. And that was also just for readability on the screens, but also the contrast just looks better to the eye. And finally, something that I wish I had done with The Ones, but, it was my debut, so I did love that cover. I loved it as soon as I designed it. But I wanted that central image focal point. So in the very beginning, they were butterflies, and then I realized this doesn't fit, but Missed Arrows. And then, of course, my whole imprint is Orange Rose Press, so a bow and arrow with a rose arrow, perfectly on brand for me. And I really love how it turned out. I'll go ahead and put the back images of both up as well. And I love the kind of image next to the blurb that I've got going on. I don't see that changing anytime soon. But something I do want to show you real quick, taking the images off, is it misprinted on the back. Like, it is just straight up white. So, but on the front, it did not do that. So I need to see if that was, or maybe it did. Maybe? Oh, it's so hard to tell on this now. Oh my heavens. Anyway, I need to go back in there, adjust the cover, and see if I can fix that before we actually mass produce these. Another big difference is the ones had 3 sections divided into, that it was divided into. Missed Arrows actually has 4. So this is a fantasy-inspired storyline. And obviously it's poetry. It don't necessarily have to read it in order at all in terms of the book. But it follows a maiden as she searches for love. But she's not the pure virgin that all the fairy tales usually hint at. And so the 4 sections are divided between the 4 relationships that she encounters and experiences on her journey to finding love. And if the title is any indication, there's no prince or princess charming at the end of this. And that was for the reason. That was for a reason. Oh my goodness, words. The not wording, which is why this is not a NaNoWriMo video. Because that's very far behind. But that's okay. So this one is going to be the beast, the monster, the renegade, and the bard. And I hinted at some of the images in a later video. If I can remember which one it is, I'll include it in a card up here. But I really wanted to highlight, I knew I would talk about past relationships because, let's be honest, I'm married now. And so love poetry is boring to me. I need the pining love, like unrequited love, like bad love. Those are the ones you want to read about. But it's kind of like the universal fantasy, which ironically is what I'm reading right now, which is like, the butter book that Bethany Atazada has been talking about. And you want things in fiction that you would never want to happen to you in real life. And so that's what this little baby is. I love her so much. Oh my God, I'm so excited. But that aside, pink background, black typography and images. Basically, think of this like a lover aesthetic, but with reputation undertones. My Swifties, this is lover meets reputation. This is what this is. And I feel like this one, if I could compare it to anything, honestly debut, but with elements of probably Evermore, just because of the seriousness of everything happening. But it's just very youthful throughout it, in a way that Missed Arrows sounds a little bit older. And so this was more of getting everything onto the page. This was more of organizing that story in there and breaking down essentially the 20s, which are a very fun dating time. And before I wrap up this wonderful Missed Arrows introduction, I do want to share the blurb with you guys. So let me find that. But in the meantime, I also want to let you know again that the pre-order price is currently 99 cents for Missed Arrows. It will stay at 99 cents for the duration of the pre-order. I keep looking over here, but my little eye thing is over there. I've got it flipped. I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, it will be 99 cents for the duration of the pre-order. After that, I'm actually going to probably put it up to $2.99 simply because it's going to be in Kindle Unlimited, and I expect more of my readers to come from there. Paperback, as always, available everywhere. There is one more place I want to publish to in terms of the paperback, and I want to actually film that upload process for you guys, so very, very, very excited. But without further ado, let me end this with the blurb for you guys. I am so, so excited for Missed Arrows to be in the world. I will be calling for ARC readers. I will mention it here on YouTube, but really Instagram, whereas I'm gonna be advertising it more likely. So go ahead, follow me on Instagram, same username as YouTube, Amber Campbell Books, and I will be probably calling for them sometime in December, maybe into January. It usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour to read this, so I'm not going to send them out until closer to mid-January. That way everyone can get their reviews up on Goodreads, and then I can go ahead and send up a follow-up email in February when this goes out to post them on Amazon. Now, thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the blurb, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so